Good morning, guys. Okay, it's Monday, the 20th of August. We are actually still pre-market. We are at 5 to 8 on Monday morning. So coming into the market today, we're on the FTSE 100, we're on the 5-minute time frame. Basically what I was looking at was how, although the market is still pretty bearish, in the sort of medium term, the sort of bigger picture view is showing us relatively bearish price action. For today, I was a little bit more neutral. A few different reasons for that I'm going to sort of take you through. So with the live trades, as always, first trade I take each week, I will take you through the sort of analysis, the reasoning behind the trade, and then with the trade itself, I will talk you through what I'm looking at. If the trade starts to sort of move against me, and I'm going to look to exit early, I'll explain why. If it starts to move down toward the profit target, I'll explain where I'm going to be taking profits on this particular trade. So coming into today, let's have a look at the 1 hour time frame. Let's actually go on to this chart right here. We'll go on to the 1 hour time frame. So the market, what I've been looking at is last week, a little bit of a cluttered chart here. It's just because this is the chart I was using to do the Sunday analysis video. Basically, the market has, or it was, pressing higher following a small sloping support level. It then broke down, it pulled back, and it retested, and we've seen a little bit of rejection coming back in. Now, counter to that, and this is why I'm sort of more neutral on the FTSE, is the longer term sloping resistance level, which has driven the market lower. We have subsequently broken up from that sloping resistance level, and we're holding up above the area. Now, pre-market, we have had a relatively strong bullish candle coming into the FTSE. So, a little bit more neutral. We are testing at a fairly key previous swing for the FTSE. Now, when I seen this, I was looking for potential sell positions. The market has came up, it's rejected once, it's rejected twice. Pre-market, it's pressed back up, and we have rejected once again. Now, really, if I am being totally honest, Monday morning, pre-market, before the market sort of showing its cards, showing you what it is going to do at the start of the day, start of the week, I'm really less keen to get into trades. But when it sets up and it's sort of lining up with the analysis, you just have to follow through on your trading plan. I'm going to be quite cautious with this one. I'm going to sort of see if we start spiking down to these levels. I'm going to be watching for potential support, and if we get a nice strong spike down into these previous swings down here, nice fast move, I'll very likely just sort of lock in profits. But it all depends what's going to happen at 8 AM. We are coming up to the open. We're a couple of minutes away. Well, there's the timer. We're 1 minute and 20 seconds away. So when it comes to things like this sort of trade, this is when I really don't want to, not that I really don't want to take the trade. This is sort of when my mind is telling me, just skip past this setup. You don't need to take this trade. It's pre-market. It's a Monday morning. You're already a little bit more neutral, which means you don't have a clear indication of what you expect the market to do. And when that happens, sort of my mind chirps up. It tells me, if that's the case, just sit out of the market, just wait. But if there's a good setup, and if it's, I'm just sort of keeping my eye on the market as well, because we're coming up to the open. If it's a good setup, if it's following the rules of my trading plan, why am I skipping the trade? It's the sort of trade that when I'm sort of testing, or if I go back over the market, it's the type of setup that I would be looking at thinking, yeah, it's a good entry. It's one that I would take. So if I'm doing it live, that's exactly what I need to do. You need to sort of follow through with your trading plan, get rid of all that nonsense in your head, and then just accept the trade for however it works out. It might win, it might lose. What I'm more concerned about is what happens over the long term, not on a trade-by-trade basis. Okay, sorry guys, the market is now open. If you did hear that alarm going off, it was my phone. I'm not really sure why there was an alarm set for the market open. I must have set it over the weekend or something. Okay, so we are a little bit bullish at present at the open. It may just spike up and take me out of this trade. What I would like to see is it dropping back down relatively quickly. So for this one, really what I would like to see is around about 8.5 points. But as I've mentioned, more neutral in the market. I do want to be a little bit more cautious. We have sort of popped up over the weekend from the Friday close price, which will potentially act as a little bit of a draw on the market. And what you can see is with this candle, it's very, very spiky. That's because we're at the open, we've just had the weekend. Okay, so the market has popped up and taken me out of that entry. It was a little bit sort of reduced risk on this one because it was the first trade of the week and because it was pre-market. Yeah, so spiked down a little bit, didn't really go where I wanted it to go. I was looking for a retest at this level at a minimum. So we've started the week off with a losing trade, unfortunately. Again, all part of trading. The main thing is, with the trading plan, you execute the trading plan and you use the probabilities over the longer term to help you get profitability. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue watching the market. I'm going to continue watching this key resistance level. I've also got a few other nice zones that I want to watch for the day. One of the things that I do is after I have a losing trade, I sort of remove myself from the computer for a little while. I just sort of reset my head because what can happen is if you've had a loss, it can start to sort of play on your mind and you can start to sort of make little mistakes, get a little bit more eager to get into trades, and that can sort of spiral your losses. So what I do is I just take a little bit of a break, get away from the computer for a little while, and then I come back fresh and I start looking for the exact same things once again. So I'm still looking for resistance at this level. If we do start to press higher, I'm going to be starting to look for a little bit more of a bullish bounce. But it all depends what the market sets up. If there's nothing more for the day, I'll just accept the loss and move on to the next trading day, which is very, very important. It's just one trade. It's just one loss. In the grand scheme of things, if you are wanting to become a trader, it really doesn't matter. It's important to remember that, especially now if this market starts to reject back down and turn bearish, because then you can start to sort of chase the market. You know, I was right, it just stopped me out. I'm just going to jump back into the sell position. Then it starts moving against you again and you get annoyed and you jump out and you start getting into the long position, trying to catch the market. It's really a terrible idea. So yeah, just reset yourself, get ready to go back into your trading plan, and then just continue with the steps that it takes to become a trader. Okay, I just want to add to this video, we are now on Tuesday. It is 8:10 in the morning. So yesterday I had that losing trade. And this sort of carries on from what I was talking about yesterday. Now, after that losing trade, I got into another trade, and that trade then got to a position where I would have been back at break even and into a little bit of profit. But my analysis on that trade was telling me to hold on to the trade and to look for an extended profit target. So what I did was I just got my stop to break even and I held onto the trade, and it came back down and it took me out at break even, and I finished the day down. I finished the day with that losing trade. What can happen, or what could have happened, is that I jumped into that trade, I got back to the break even level, and then I just clicked to exit the trade, and that would have worked out well yesterday, but it would have been me deviating from my trading plan, and it would have been me allowing my emotions and that annoyance that I was down for the day take over what I was doing. When you're trading, as I keep going over and over again, the psychology of the trade is the most important thing that you can learn to master. I'm just trying to keep my eye on this trade also. I got in today at, let's have a look, this candle right here at 7:55 a.m. and the market broke up at 8 a.m. It touched onto the MA200 and it's just continued to rally straight through. So my stop is at break even at present. I'm just going to watch up in this zone for potential reactions. I am expecting some sort of a pullback, but potentially another press higher. Really anywhere toward the top of this zone is where I will look to lock in profits. So when we start getting back to the highs of these previous swings. Yeah, so that's really the thing that I try and get across in my videos, is that, you know, you can have the best trading plan in the world, but if you aren't willing to follow that trading plan and do what the trading plan is telling you to do consistently, all that's going to happen is you're going to continue losing. You're going to continue having these sort of roller coaster moments where you have all the wins and everything feels great, and you start to sort of get elated, and then you hit the other side and it comes crashing back down again. You're left, sitting with your head in your hands and you're wondering, how has this happened again? What am I going to do now? And you start to sort of reset, either looking for a new trading plan, or you start to think to yourself, okay, tomorrow I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this properly, and then it starts again and it happens again, over and over and over again. What I actually want to do moving forward, what I want to do is I want to judge your interest in this. So one of the things I always go on about is psychology. What I'm going to look to do is start making more psychology videos. But in terms of psychology, I guess it's maybe a little bit more personal. So in terms of psychology, throughout my life, I've had to deal with quite a lot of shit is the best way to put it. I've had a lot of really low times, and it continues to sort of still follow me through my life. And what I found was that with trading, it had the ability to sort of magnify that negativity, but it also was the trigger that helped me start to learn and to sort of improve myself. Now, I was already doing it before I came to trading, but trading was one of the things that really helped me focus. And since then, I have learned a lot of stuff about myself and a lot of stuff about psychology. So what I want to do really is sort of put together a very in-depth course, not only if you're trading, if you're a trader, but if you just find that you struggle with motivation, you struggle with working towards your goals. What I'm thinking about doing is putting together a very in-depth course, going right from the start, touching on every aspect of the sort of things that I've learned and the things that I do to help myself day to day, and especially with trading. It will have the focus on trading. But I really want to judge the sort of interest in that. Are you guys interested in something that will focus on the psychology rather than the technical? Because it will take a lot of work, and it's also going to be a lot of sort of personal stuff that I'm going to have to get into, and I don't want to sort of put that together if nobody is really going to have much interest in it at all. So let me know what you think, guys. It's something I've been thinking about for quite a while with the Decisive Trading channel. I'm actually sort of thinking about diverging a little bit, potentially having a second channel where I will focus a lot more on psychology. But one of the things I want to do is put together basically emotional trading, how to sort of deal with emotional trading and how to start to overcome emotional trading and come out the other side so you can really start progressing as a trader. Okay, so I'm watching this candle here. It is starting to reject a little bit. What I'm likely going to do is exit after this candle. So I'm just going to continue watching it right a minute. If it spikes up into this level, obviously I will exit. If it just holds at this level, also I will exit. If we do start to break down into a more bearish candle, again, I will exit. We're sitting at about £650, so I do want to lock in some profits here. So I'm just watching the candle. I know exactly what it is that I'm doing, so there's really no stress. When you have the exact steps that you're trying to take, it becomes less about, I don't know, trying to sort of second guess the market and figure out what you should be doing step by step, because you already know exactly what it is that you should be doing. So all I'm doing is sitting with my hand over the close button, and I'm waiting for the market to do one of those things that I just went over, because I know that is my exit signal. And I'm not trying to do it, when I'm under stress. I already know the steps that I'm looking to take. Okay, so it looks like it's going to close here. So we're going to close this out for 635. It looks like it got closed out at £615 of profit. So it's wiped out yesterday's profit, yesterday's loss, and it's left me back in profit. And that's trading. That's exactly what happens over and over and over again. If you're, well, it depends how you trade, but if you're trading sort of day trading and you're sort of doing the same kind of thing as me, if you're getting 2 wins with a good profit target and then 1 loss, that's really good going. You're having a really good strike rate. And if you can do that consistently, you're going to grow your account. It's exactly what I look to do. I don't look for these crazy 98% success rates where I use a £1,000 stop so I never suffer losses. I don't look for the huge risk rewards because it doesn't suit my trading style. I found what suited my trading style, I fitted it to my psychology, and then I learned how to cope with the emotional trading, the trading psychology, and now all I do is I just execute it day after day after day. It might sound crazy to you if you're just starting trading, but trading is relatively boring. You know, when you're in a trade and it does start moving against you, especially if you had a couple of losses, maybe you start to get the heart racing, you start to get sort of sweaty palms and stuff. But for the most part, it should be a boring process. You're just following step by step by step. Okay, guys, so that's going to be everything for the live trade video. As always, I hope it was helpful. Please do let me know what you think about the sort of psychology side of things if you guys are interested. I hope you've all had a good trading week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.